How many of you are afraid of the retaliation that you might get from a toxic, abusive, narcissistic person if you go no contact, if you cut them out of your life, if you cut their friends out of your life? You might fear of what might be said about you, not necessarily because you're afraid of them, more because you're afraid because you have a reputation that you're trying to uphold. You're not used to being in this type of toxic situation where you are risking a bunch of people not liking you, right? My name is Kevin, and this is the Royal We, and I've been there, and I've got some news for you, and you may not like it. This whole experience in the toxic relationship that you have been through has brought you to this point where you have got to make some decisions, and part of the decisions is to cut certain people out of your life. And guess what? You are going to make them very upset, and you're going to irritate them, and you're going to make them mad at you, and you might make them angry. All right? I want to tell you that just straight up. And you know what? You're going to have to be okay with that. So there's a lot of different areas that we can talk about in this, but a couple of things, a couple of points that I want to hit on for this message for you. Number one, understand that the reason they are going to be mad at you has nothing to do with the fact that their little hearts are broken and they're really missing you and they really care about you and they really love you. This is not why toxic narcissists get mad at you when you go no contact, when you cut them out. The reason they get angry and mad and the reason that they retaliate against your no contact is because you've offended them. I want you to imagine it's like dealing with little kids and they want to try and get away with whatever they can get away with, and you're the parent saying, no, stop it. And they get mad and angry. It's simply because they can no longer do what they want to do. So the reason toxic narcissists get mad at you for your no contact is because they can no longer do what they want to do with you. It has nothing to do with you breaking their heart because they love you. Understand that. You're dealing with childish people who are just offended that they can no longer control you, right? You took their toy away. So understand that that's where their anger is coming from, first and foremost. So it's not an appropriate type of anger that you need to worry about. It's not something that you need to stand back and go, oh man, I don't want to break their hearts. I don't want to be the mean person. It's simply you taking their toy away and them selfishly going into a little fit, right? That's all that is. Now, the second point that I want to make to you about this is that, is it going to cause a stir if you know about it? Yes. If you are connected with them on social media, you might see posts aimed at you. Oh, people who go no contact and ghost people and silent treatment, so immature. Or you might see them post things like, oh, you give everything to people and they turn their back on you. Or you might see posts like, I can't believe how selfish people are and they just cut you out of their life like you never meant anything. And they're going to run their campaign and all of their friends are going to see this and they're all probably going to know that they're talking about you. And this is what terrifies you, right? You're not afraid because you're afraid of them. You're afraid because you've never had your reputation talked about in this way. And so I'm here to tell you, it's part of the Royal We. Consider it an initiation that you're going to go through. Be okay with these people not liking you. How many of you are aware of right now that coming out of a toxic relationship that, first of all, it doesn't matter how nice of a person you are as to whether or not other people like you? I mean, did you not give it your all in a toxic, abusive relationship? Did you not be nice every step of the way? Even though toxic narcissists will lead you to believe that you are not nice enough, don't you in your heart know that you gave everything you could to the situation and to the relationship? And did any of it work? No. If there's anything that you and I can learn and take away from toxic relationships is that other people are going to like you based mostly on who they are. If they are the type of people who are kind and gentle and look at other people through a lens of equality, then they'll like you. If they're not, if they're narcissistic bullies who want to use people, manipulate people, then they're going to look at you through that lens, no matter how nice you are. Okay? So don't think that trying to be nice in the situation is going to win anybody in the situation, because it's not. So be okay and be prepared mentally to be attacked. Be prepared to be smeared. Be prepared to not be liked. And then in the process, rediscover this idea that you don't need them in your life. You don't need the narcissist or their family or their friends. This is going to be a time in your life where you assess who you need in your life and who you really don't. And now it comes down to you living your life being nice because you are nice. You don't have to try to be nice. You're a nice, loving, caring person. There's no reason to try anything else on top of that. But now as you step forward and implement boundaries, and you're going to become more of a stern individual, a more respectable individual, and to narcissists and to bullies, it's going to look like you are a mean, selfish person, and let them think that way. And goodbye to them. Right? It's better to be free of stress and anxiety and toxicity in your life and to be known by a few bullies that you're a horrible, mean person than it is to try to be nice to everybody and be bullied and be an enabler, which is what you are. You ultimately end up enabling abuse by trying to be nice all the time. I don't care what Christian churches and pastors tell you. If you're trying to be nice all the time, you're an enabler to abusive people. Don't do that, right? Why don't you do this? Do this with me. Suffer the experience of upsetting these people. Upset the narcissist, not by bullying them, not by trying to attack them. Upset them by going no contact and by holding your boundaries and by showing them that you won't be moved by them and you're not going to play their game anymore. They drug you down into their pit. They drug you down into the mud. And now you're getting up and out and you're going to look from the other side. I hit the mic. You're going to look from the other side of the fence and you're going to see how dirty and filthy they were and how dirty you were in that world. And you're going to stay away from them. That's no contact. And you're going to suffer them talking and saying horrible things about you. But guess what? When you're on the opposite side of the fence, it doesn't matter. It's like looking at them and you're disgusted because they're just throwing mud up in the air like pigs. And you're free. Now, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable and it's going to hurt, especially if you're not used to having people not like you that you know. So experience it. Learn to deal with it and move forward. Listen, I want to be a part of your healing journey. Visit www.jointheroyalwe.com where you can schedule a one-on-one appointment with me. We can have a FaceTime. We can have a telephone consultation or a text message consultation. Again, www.jointheroyalwe.com. You can find the link to in the description box down below. Also, join me Monday night for Royal We Live Chat. The community comes together. We ask questions, answer questions, and you can call in for free if you would like, as long as you know the show's live. Also, Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Central Time is Royal We Fellowship, a new in-depth Bible study from the perspective of the world being toxic and narcissistic. Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. You can find the links to these channels in the description box, and I'll be back with more videos right here on the Royal We.